Hello friends, Namaste. This is your host Preetha Lal and I welcome you back to this wonderful sacred space where we spend time reading the wonderful treatise, The Eternal Values for a Changing Society by the late Srimad Swami Ranganathanandaji. If you are following this podcast, you are aware that he was the 13th president of the Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission. But more than all of that, he was a scholar par excellence, a spiritual ambassador, a philosopher, and a teacher. This multi-volume treatise that I have decided to read to you through this podcast is a true testament to the breadth of his knowledge and the depth of his wisdom. The Swami's ability to take discrete thoughts and concepts and string them into a mindful wreath of conclusive and factual understanding is beyond commendable or comprehensible sometimes. In today's episode, we shall read passages that talk to the godliness of man, the origin and evolution of such thought, and the synthesis of Greek and Indian philosophies during concurrent times in history. Thank you, friends, for joining me in this space. Let us begin from The Eternal Values for a Changing Society by Swami Ranganathanandaji. Their synthesis in the Gita. Though Indian culture specialized in one field and comparatively neglected the other, Indian philosophy, Vedanta, as stated earlier, did not fail to comprehend both in a sweeping synthesis. This is the Sanatana Dharma, eternal religion, in which the two values of manliness and saintliness are blended in a comprehensive spirituality, of which the most authentic voice is the Gita. Coming in the wake of the Upanishads, the Gita is the first successful attempt in humankind's cultural history to work out a complete philosophy of life, reconciling the secular and the sacred, work and worship. The central message of the Gita is highlighted by Shankara in the masterly introduction he wrote to his commentary on this great book. The religion taught in the Vedas is twofold, he said, conducive to the stability and maintenance of the world, one of the nature of energetic action and the other of the nature of calm withdrawal. Its purpose is to ensure the true welfare of all beings, worldly as well as spiritual, he said. The path of godliness. Before such a synthesis could be achieved, there was a need to penetrate the inner world to its depths. This is what the Upanishads did to such perfection and gave to all humanity the greatest of all sciences, the science of the self. India has ever since remained the torchbearer in this field. The supreme technique in this field is meditation, fortified by moral purity and passion for truth. It is the fruit of the Indian idea that religion is a matter of experience and not of dogma or creed. It is a technique that the Upanishads perfected, but whose hoary antiquity goes back to the Indus Valley culture, one of the legacies of which is a figure seated in the yoga pose of meditation. It was the technique used to perfection by Buddha in a later age. It continued as the central technique of the science of religion in India throughout the ages, and it received powerful endorsement and impetus in the modern age from the lives of Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda. One of the Upanishads conveys the methods and results of this technique in a cryptic verse in the Katha Upanishad. Translated, it says, "The self-existent Lord created the sense organs, including the mind, with the defect of an outgoing disposition. Therefore, the human perceives things outside, but not the self within. A certain wise man, desirous of immortality, turned the senses, including the mind, inward and realized the inner self." By inner penetration, Swamiji continues, meditation helps the individual to leave behind the body, the senses, the ego, and all other non-self elements which, being nature's products, are subject to time and are perishable. He thus realizes his immortal divine self of the nature of infinite existence, infinite knowledge, and infinite bliss. The body and the senses and the ego are but the instruments of the immortal self for the experience of the world of time and space. These constitute the aspects of man, the known in the depth of which is the real man, the unknown. The Upanishads are the great saga of this discovery. The sages were aware of the pioneering quality of their efforts and discovery and their significance for all humanity. This awareness finds expression in the power of their utterances and the joy suffusing them. India and the lure of godliness. The discovery of the divine in the heart of the human being had a powerful impact on the later developments of culture in India. The consequences of such a discovery cannot remain confined and isolated. For the first time, it opened up a new vast field of exploration, more alluring, more strenuous and riskier, but more promising than the external world of space and time. And on the trail blazed by the great Upanishadic sages marched India, first one part, then another, until in the wake of Buddha and his movement, the whole of India became possessed of religious passion. It lured the gifted and the ordinary in the land to attempt to scale this Everest of experience. This impressive procession of seekers and devotees down the ages who renounced everything worldly in their search for truth constitutes the unique feature of Indian cultural history. It is a feature that has not left unaffected even her intellectuals of all types, including the atheists and the agnostics. Even in this modern age, that impressive procession has carried in its powerful current the outstanding cultural leaders of the Indian people, men like Ram Mohan Roy, Aurobindo Ghosh, Rabindranath Tagore, and Mahatma Gandhi. We will pause here today, ladies and gentlemen, and let this soak in. We will pause here today, ladies and gentlemen, and let all of this soak in. In the next episode, the passages we will read will be focused on India and how all of these concepts find confluence in her history and spirituality. From the aesthetic aspects of Indian culture to its ability to assimilate and inspire, Swami Ranganathananda paints a profound picture that gradually brings together the storyboard of this epic book. For now, you have my heartfelt gratitude for sharing the space with me today. Until next time, this is your host, Preetha Lal. Namaste.